Deep in the Namibrand desert lies Wolwedans, a trailblazer in sustainable tourism. With its low-impact operations and a deeply ethical approach to business, Wolwedans is a true pioneer of sustainability in the desert. Stefan Bruckner is the driving force behind sustainability at Wolwedans.
The ethos of Wolwedans from its inception is essentially business and balance. Basically, we are not trying to chase the buck here, but do so balancing people, planet and profit. And a few years ago, we were co-founders of a new global initiative called Global Ecosphere Retreats, or long-run destinations. And the common denominator or mold we chose was what we call the 4Cs. And the 4Cs are commerce, conservation, community and culture. And in brief, so commerce is basically making money, no honey. And that's our camps and our touristic operations, which obviously is a core part of what we do.
The Wolwedans tourism business also funds the sustainability innovations here and provides an investment in wildlife conservation. Over the past 40 years, Wolwedans has helped with the ecological restoration of the Namibrand, a fragile landscape previously degraded by extensive sheep farming. By removing fencing, huge areas of land, some 500,000 hectares, have been made available for wildlife to return, leading to a remarkable recovery in the populations of many native species. Conservation also includes minimising the environmental impact of day-to-day operations. Annalie and Jason explain how the Wolwedans village is run to be as sustainable as possible.
So we're located here in the Namibrand Nature Reserve, and because we are in a reserve, naturally conservation is at the heart of all we do. But because we're a commercial enterprise, we have to make sure that we reduce our impact in all of our operations at Wolwedans.
The Wolwedans camps are run as sustainable as possible, and we are continuously finding different ways, innovative ways to really reduce our impact on the environment. The essence of life in the desert is water, and we get all the water from our underground aquifers. We've been monitoring our level of water for more than 15 years to make sure that our consumption does not deplete our aquifers. We measure how much water each of our camps is using and continuously finding different ways on how to reduce our water consumption at each camp.
We clean our sewage on site to produce water that is clean enough for irrigation. That way, we recover up to 80% of our water use.
Almost all of our electricity comes from solar panels like these and a large battery bank to make sure that we have power when the sun goes down. In order to minimize our electricity use, we have energy efficient equipment, low levels of lighting, and a strict policy of turning things off when they're not in use.
Our hot water comes from the sun, no fossil fuels. We grow our own organic herbs and vegetables, of which has zero carbon footprint and no food miles.
Wolwedans is expanding its vegetable growing, will soon have chickens, and is planning to produce enough food to sell to other lodges in the region.
We make use of all our food waste from the kitchen, which is fed to the wormery here, producing a very rich compost and a liquid fertilizer that is then used in our organic garden.
The rest of our food waste is fed to our pigs here for a sustainable meat supply. We have our own ducks, and soon we'll have our own flock of chickens too. We recycle most of our waste by sorting it here and then sending it off to a recycle center in the city. And where we can't recycle, we try and get as creative as possible by making use of it here on site.
Our Trash to Treasure scheme invents all sorts of ways to reuse our waste. For example, these Jenga blocks.
Wolwedans camps are made of low-impact wood and canvas and will be removed at the end of their life, leaving no trace on the landscape. At the Wolwedans village, new sustainable building technologies are being tested.
We are very proud of our bottle brick invention. We found that using empty plastic bottles filled with dune sand, this makes the perfect replacement for a brick. And thanks to the air pockets between the grains of sand, this provides the perfect insulation. This means that these buildings stay cool in the heat of the day, and this means that we don't have to use expensive electric air conditioning.
Wolwedans is committed to a better future for Namibia and its people. As well as providing livelihoods for many people, Wolwedans has developed some ambitious training programs.
The Wolwedans Desert Academy is one of our vocational training centers. Here we offer a course in hospitality and tourism management. The trainees are able to qualify in either commercial cookery or food and beverage service. We have a training kitchen here at the Wolwedans village where the trainees are exposed to practical on-the-job training, which we call the living classroom. They are also very lucky to be able to operate with our guests at the actual lodges and camps. The trainees get a chance to practice their food making and practice their serving skills to guests. We also do guide training, which is always ongoing, and in the future we hope to introduce horticulture and facility maintenance as qualifications for trainees.
In addition to species extinction, we actually also face a global culture extinction, where a lot of beautiful cultures globally are sort of slowly but surely going by the wayside, and that's something we want to be conscious about and actually celebrate cultural diversity, celebrate different customs, and especially in Namibia this is very relevant because we've got 11 different cultures here, 11 different language groups.
Wolwedans' own multilingual choir and their football team are just two examples of Wolwedans' support for cultural diversity. What next for sustainability at Wolwedans? Stefan Bruckner is optimistic.
We see something interesting evolving here now. We call it now the desert-based economy. How this region really starts to benefit from, for instance, Wolwedans in terms of job creation, in terms of buying resources, in terms of tapping into the immediate surrounding to get things done. One of our slogans is we exist to inspire a new way, and I would hope that the majority of guests leave Wolwedans and are inspired and are infused by a different way of conducting your business, not just chasing the buck, giving back, and I think we are on the right path.